Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, we're going to delve into another lesson in insanity. And again, I know I'm kind of getting off topic a bit here, obviously, military and foreign affairs. Now, I would say that this is something that is very important, that is right now happening inside of the United States. And I thought it worth talking about, and more importantly, I'm hoping to generate some discussion within the comment section as well, because quite frankly, I don't really understand the nature of what is going on, and from my view at least, I see this as a clear cut, black and white, good versus evil issue. And I don't really understand, at least on the surface, the stance now of some of these corporate, especially the corporate media, and also the corporate world itself, such as right here on the good old Google Earth, you see Walt Disney World. So what am I talking about? What is the topic of lessons in insanity today? Well, this is about the Florida Parental Rights Law, aka also known as the Don't Say Gay Law. And what I wanted to do is just start right into the meat and potatoes of the actual law. And you will understand very, very quickly that it says nothing about don't say gay. And again, right now, as I'm speaking, we're starting to see, and we have started to see again some very large businesses in the United States start out to come to oppose the Florida Parental Rights Bill, and I don't understand why that is taking place. And I'll try to explain kind of the crux of the law itself. And again, I would definitely like to hear your opinion on it in the comment section. So the component of the law that elicits the "don't say gay" reaction is this part, Section 3 of the law of the Parental Rights Act. Classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3 or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. So again, it says nothing about don't say gay, and this is strictly keyed on students, obviously very new students in the educational system, from kindergarten to grade 3. So folks, these are kids that are 6 to 8 years old. They can't even read yet. So why is Walt Disney coming out against this law? And a lot of this law isn't really about that one issue I just mentioned. It's really mandating that school districts report to parents on really kind of what they're teaching kids, and more importantly, some sensitive issues that parents should know about their own children. If that happens to arise within the context of the school environment. So again, you have Walt Disney, you have Hollywood. I just witnessed the big dumb adult Ron Perlman come out and say this was a freedom of speech issue. I mean, seriously? Again, you're talking about 6th, 7th, and 8th graders and teaching them about transgenderism and sexuality. I got to tell you, going back in just my history in school, I don't really remember anything prior to probably fifth or fourth grade. And I remember, in terms of being taught reading, writing, and arithmetic, a lot of that was done by my mother. So, again, I guess I don't understand the why. Why is it necessary for a kindergarten teacher, a first grade teacher, a second grade teacher, and a third grade teacher who is really kind of focused, not kind of focused, they are fully focused on getting that student, that 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, to learn to read, write, communicate, do very, very basic mathematics. 2 plus 2 equals 5. I'm just kidding. 2 plus 2. You get my point. But again, why? Why is the mainstream media calling this an anti-gay law in school? And the way they position it in a lot of their talking points is as if this is grades 1 through 12. They quite often leave out, or most of the time they do leave out, that this is in fact focused on grades 1, 2, and 3. And you see some of these teachers who are opposed to this law, and what they are trying to articulate is, well, quite often we talk about the family in our classroom. And when we start talking about the family, sometimes a student has 2 daddies or 2 mommies, and how are we to talk about that? I mean, that's ridiculous. That's utterly ridiculous. If you can't find a way to circumnavigate that, and I don't even know why you're talking about students' families. I mean, I can get if you ask, well, what did you do on your summer vacation? That's fine. But really, you want to get into the sexuality of the individual family unit and then have a discussion about that? Sounds kind of unreasonable and very clear-cut, black and white on this, at least for me. Furthermore, you also have teachers speaking in terms that would indicate, well, within the historical context, if we have a figure, a historical figure who happened to be gay, shouldn't we talk about that? No, absolutely not. Not the first, second, and third graders. And what's very discouraging is that these teachers don't seem to have the ability to separate teaching mathematics, basic history, reading, writing, with having to also teach sexuality. Makes no sense. But the big issue is, why is a giant corporation like Walt Disney, whose primary product is focused on children, why are they against this? Is it that they don't understand the law, that these corporate leaders, these CEOs, don't have the ability, just as I just did, to pick up and read the 7 pages of the law? What do you think? Put it in the comment section. Let's talk about it. This is a subject that, at least for me, is clear-cut, black and white, and it is good versus evil. I do not understand why a first grade teacher, second grade teacher, third grade teacher, and again, these are teachers that usually have the kids in the classroom about half of the day or the better part of the full day, and they usually have one teacher at that point in school, and it isn't until later in school, up towards middle and higher schools, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th grade, that they start separating the classes. So why is a teacher, first grade, second grade, third grade, kindergarten teacher, finding it necessary to talk about transgender issues with their students, talking about sexuality with a 6-year-old. Guys, that is incredibly disturbing to me. Again, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. This is about writing the letter A. This is about drawing an apple and sounding out apple. Not talking about transgender issues. And again, why is this corporate elite, Walt Disney World, and a host of other businesses now coming out against this law? I understand that most of those individuals that lead those companies probably have private teachers teaching their kids and have absolutely no idea what's happening inside of a normal middle-class family that sends their children to public school. But they have the ability to pick up that law and read it. 7 pages. It's not very long, and it's very you can understand it. It's very simplistic in what it's trying to do. It's trying to give situational awareness about a parent's child to the parent, and at the same time, it's trying to prevent some of these discussions that have apparently been taking place in the classroom that is unacceptable. You have these far left teachers attempting to indoctrinate these young little children into their ideology at an incredibly young age. And what's just even more crazy is fast forward 20 years from now, I highly doubt these kids would even remember, unless it's such a shock to their little brains that they would remember it. I don't know. Again, for me, being 50 and trying to remember post grade 5 is very difficult. Now, obviously, it may be different for you, the listener. But again, don't get it. Don't understand Hollywood. Well, I guess I do understand Hollywood coming out in terms of being opposed to the law. But again, I don't understand business leaders who have the ability to pick up this law and read it and say, okay, that's reasonable. I understand why they're trying to do that. And I think it becomes more, I think you understand it even more when you start to listen to some of these teachers who are opposed to the law. Those teachers who are opposed to the law and are trying to articulate why they want to teach sexuality to a 6-year-old should be fired. They should not be teaching your kids. That is a dangerous, dangerous person. And don't understand it. We'll be doing more videos here soon about the ongoing war in Ukraine and obviously the continuing civil war inside of the former state of Ethiopia as well. Stay tuned. It'll be out shortly. But please, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this issue. Have a good day.